So we're going to have a quick look at factorising into a single bracket. So we're going to want to end up with something that looks a bit like this. So what is, first of all, a factor of a number? So a factor of a number is another number which divides the first number exactly. So for example, if I take the number 12, well, that has factors 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. So all of these numbers are factors of 12 because they divide them exactly. We can do something similar with algebra. So for example, if we have the expressions a squared, 4a and ab, these all have common factors of a. So a is the common factor. We can use this to help us factorise into a single bracket. And sometimes this is helpful in giving us an understanding of the algebra. So it might be that we need to use that to solve an equation, or it might be that we need to prove something, and by factorising into a single bracket we'll be able to do that. The aim with factorising into a single bracket is always to take as much as possible outside of the bracket. So if we look at 4x and minus 8, the largest common factor that we have there is 4. So let's take that outside the bracket. 4, and then what do we need so that we have 4 times something equals 4x? Well, that's x. We also need 4 times something equals minus 8, so that should give us minus 2. And we can always check that we've done it right by expanding our bracket back out. So we've got 4x minus 2, and we can expand this out. We can say, okay, 4 times x is 4x. 4 times minus 2 is minus 8. We'll look at a slightly more difficult example now. So this is 9x squared minus 3x. Well, clearly 3 is a factor of both 9 and 3. We've also got x as a factor of both terms. So we can take out not just 3 and not just x, but we can take both bits out. So we'll take out 3x, and then we need something which multiplied by 3x equals 9x squared. Well, that's 3x. And we need something which, when multiplied by 3x, gives us minus 3x. Well, that's just minus 1. And then again, we can check. So 3x minus 1 in brackets. So 3x times 3x, well, yeah, that's 9x squared. And minus 1 times 3x, well, that is minus 3x. If we hadn't noticed that 3x was the biggest factor there, we could have done it bit by bit. So we'll do an alternative way now. If we hadn't realised, we could have said, well, okay, so 3 is a factor. 3x squared, 3x squared minus x. And then we could have realised, well, actually, we've still got x as a factor in both of these bits, so now we can take x out afterwards. And that would be perfectly fine. So if we did now, okay, so we've still got x in as a factor, let's take that out as well. 3x minus 1. So it doesn't matter if you don't do it all in one step, you can do it over several steps. Okay, so you don't just have to have 2 terms, it can be more than 1 term, and you can still put that into a single bracket. So what are the common factors here? Well, looks like we've got a 3 here, we've got a g in each case, and we've got an h in each case. We can't take any more than g out. We can't take g squared because there's not g squared here. We can't take out h squared because this is only h to the power of 1 as well. So let's put our bracket of 3GH. So we need something which, when you multiply it by 3GH, equals 3GH. Well, that's just 1. Something that when you multiply 3GH by it, you get 6G squared H. Well, that's 2G. And something that when you multiply 3GH by it, you get minus 12GH squared. Well, that's minus 4H. So if I expand that out, just to check, I get 3GH times 1 is, well, 3GH. 3GH times 2G is 6G squared H. And 3GH take away 4H is minus 12GH squared, which is what we started with.